I am not in my usual place. I am in a different house, actually. And just kidding, that's just my sketchbook. I was just sort of starting here, and then I'm like, ooh, I can make it look like I'm somewhere else. But if you clicked on this video, you are looking for Elsa's hair tutorial, and that is what you will be getting. So let's jump right in and begin. So, the main component of Elsa's hair is obviously her braid, but I want to spend some time talking about the other bits that are important. I'm not going to worry too much about the facial structure here. I'm not even going to be drawing a face on it, but what I am going to do is make a sort of chibi-like head. And I'm sorry if you're a chibi expert and you think this head is an insult to chibis everywhere. I'm sorry, I'm not a chibi expert, but yeah. Just gonna stencil in a little head here. And here we go. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is mark out the sort of center point of Elsa's face here. So, let's just sort of, I was just doing the hair before the face and body, so I really think that if you're drawing a good picture of Elsa, like you want it to be a final composition, you should do her hair first, because it sort of covers different portions of her face and body, so I'd start with hair. So that's how I'm going to proportion her face, and because this is a chibi character, it won't really affect the way the hair goes or anything, but it will start the hair about halfway on the face. So that's just about halfway. But otherwise it won't affect the drawing at all. And I'm also going to be doing a how to draw braids tutorial, and I'll put a link in the video right here. So yeah. Anyway, Elsa has a bit of a widow's peak. So we're going to put our middle point in first, which is right there. And the first thing that I'm going to want to do is draw in the main bit of hair that's going to be the structure for the rest of her head. As you might have noticed, if you've ever seen a good picture of Elsa and actually studied it, Elsa has different portions of her hair that start on her forehead and are pulled back to the back of her head. So we'll do those first. As you can see here, I've got one done in. And to this side, they sort of come out into little points that go slightly off of her head. Just gonna do a little point there. And then on this side, they sort of curve over to that side, so they're just gonna sort of be lumps that curve. But the main part of this side is that this bit goes under and sort of interacts with her face a little. It stops right about at this midline. So there we have the top of Elsa's head. I'm just going to turn this into a little bit of a thing there. And now I'm just going to take my Stadler eraser and just erase my guiding lines here. And now I'm just going to go back over all these lines. And if you don't get it at first, you definitely will eventually. This part isn't the hard part, though. And if you're not the best at braids, and I totally wasn't until I just sat down one afternoon and said, okay, I'm going to learn how to do braids. I studied pictures, I looked at real-life braids, and I just studied my heart out. So you just got to sit down and really learn it, or you could just click on the link that is probably still up and go to my How to Draw Braids video. So yep, I think that should be a good video because I used to be pretty terrible at braids, but now I pride myself on being actually pretty decent. So why not? Click on that link. So now we're going to move on to Elsa's braid, her most characteristic feature. It is pulled over her shoulder, so I'm going to need to draw her some shoulders. Let's do that. And I'm just going to put in a bit of her body. Here's one shoulder. And then the other shoulder I'm going to do very lightly. And so now that we've got her shoulder sort of penciled in, we can pencil in where we want her braid to go. I'm going to have it curl around her head like that. I'm also just going to put in a little bit of hair right there to show that it's sort of being pulled back. Honestly, I don't know what kind of wonky bun Elsa had her hair in where she can just pull it out and it pops into this, but it was certainly a very versatile style, so, yeah. So, we have this bit here, and the first thing you're going to want to do in simple braid drawing is to do a zigzag line down the middle. And I'll cover all of this in my How to Draw Braids video if you can't pick it up fast enough in this. Actually, no, we're not going to start so close to the top. I'd start right around her shoulder line with the actual braid itself. You're going to get smaller with your zigzag the closer you get to the bottom. It's kind of hard to show on my camera, but there we go. And then up here, what you're going to want to do is sort of put some lumps of hair in. So yeah, now what we're going to do with this zigzag is a little tricky. So if you need to rewind the video, and still suggesting you watch this video first, if you need to rewind, that's fine, just go ahead and do it. We're going to take this line here, continue it up, and then bump it over, like that. Now we take this line, start at the bottom, continue it up, then over. This line, starting at the bottom, bringing it up, over our guideline just a little bit, and over until we hit this line on this braid. Starting at the bottom there, past this line here, then over until we hit here. Here we're going to go up and over until we hit there. Here we're going to go up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. Just keep going up and over until you hit the next line. Oh, my cat just came into the room, so pardon a little stray meowing every now and then. You won't be bad, will you, Coco? Oh, she just like lied on the floor. And now she's running out. Okay. 1 second. And so now that we've got her braid penciled in, what I'm going to do at the bottom is just quickly move the camera a little bit so you can see it. Just add that little bit. And now we're going to do the most important part and just draw in some hairlines. These lines are going to go in the direction that the hair is moving. And so I'm going to start around her head, then work out away from her head. So the hair on the top is obviously starting at her hairline and then moving out. And if you're doing a final composition, then these lines, you're going to want them to be done in whatever medium you're working with, and you're not going to want to ink these lines in. But if you're on this channel, I assume that you're using Copics or pastels or Prismacolors or something. By the way, you guys can let me know if you want me to do a blindfold challenge. And I don't really have a face cam or anything, so you just sort of have to take my word for it that I'm blindfolded. But by my drawing, I think you'd be able to tell. But yeah, if you want to see a blindfold challenge, suggest a character for me to draw or just something to draw, and I'll try and draw and color it blindfolded. So yeah. And there we go. that is pretty much how to draw Elsa's hair, except for the final touch. And I'm going to go to my handy dandy blue shiny pen thing. Something that we all know is that Elsa has a sort of blue snowflake that ties up her hair. Just going to put some little designs on it. She has a couple smaller ones throughout her hair. There we go. That is how to draw Elsa. And just one thing is left: to sign it. Beautiful! Yay! Guys, if you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up and comment. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. But for now, ciao for now. I just kind of ruined that outro by... I mucked it all up. Alright, I'm going to start over. Let's say ciao for now. That's